Mountain Road, Late at Night, by Alan Rossi. Read by Davis Brooks. Beings are numberless. I vow to save them all. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them all. Dharma gates are myriad. I vow to enter them all. Enlightenment is unattainable. I vow to attain it fully. The Four Great Bodhisattva Vows. Thinking of the key. Each confirms a prison. T.S. Eliot. Nathaniel. May I be a guard for all those who are protectorless, a guide for those who journey on the road. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge, for all those who wish to cross the water, for all those ailing in the world, until their every sickness has been healed. May I myself become for them the doctor, the nurse, the medicine itself. Shantideva. Nathaniel observed, alternating between varying degrees of clarity and confusion, doubt that resolved into certainty, which in turn morphed into questioning, his central role in the numerous discussions among the family members about where the boy should live, who would best serve as replacement parents, who had the necessary parental acumen, who had the finances, who would be dedicated, whose lifestyle the boy would most easily fit into, who was young, who was old, who had been parents, who hadn't, who was willing to do it again, who wasn't, who knew the wishes of the boy's parents, and who only thought they knew, who was closest to the now-gone family itself, the parents both dead in a car accident, and finally, who would make the boy immediately feel safe. None of these discussions yielded clear answers for Nathaniel, the dead man's brother, or anyone else. All the accumulated arguments were like an uncertain sea of information, Nathaniel thought, one point swelling into a wave of what felt like fact, only to have another point wash out that wave with its own relevance and truth. In this way, rather than revealing who could best help the boy, the debate among the family members in the first days after the accident left the continual, implied, unasked, but deeply felt question. What did the boy want and need? The answer was both too simple and too impossible to approach. Jack wanted his parents. Nathaniel felt that all that these conversations were doing, and what they would continue to do, was serve as a way for the family to act out their scripted roles without any of them seeing what was right in front of them. Nathaniel received a phone call from his dead brother's mother-in-law the day before. She called to tell him that she had started driving Monday night, and would continue for the next 4 days, since it was over a 30-hour drive from Boise, and that she would arrive on Friday. She was sorry she couldn't be there sooner, but no one thought to tell her, the mother, that her daughter had been in this accident, and plane tickets were way too expensive at this point, to which Nathaniel wanted to explain that there'd been a mistake, that he believed she'd been notified by the police. But before he could say anything, this Tammy woman had said, "It is what it is, and it doesn't matter now." She said she was on her way and would pick up the kid on Friday afternoon in order to drive him back home, asking Nathaniel to please have a suitcase packed, with a week's worth of clothes, whatever toys Nathaniel felt the boy needed or would want. He could ship the rest to her later. And then she ended the phone call by saying that she was appreciative of Nathaniel taking the time out of his schedule to look after the boy. Appreciative of Stefanie as well. Please tell her that. She knew that children weren't in their plans, so it was really great that for the past week they'd moved in and stayed with the boy in the house he knew. But not to worry. She'd be there soon, and they could go back to their apartment and their lives. Nathaniel had then explained to Stefanie, his wife, that Tammy, a woman he had met only once and with whom he had never had a real conversation before, this woman didn't even say hello. She just began talking, telling him that she was coming to pick up the kid, with barely an acknowledgement that Nathaniel was even on the line. And then she gave him instructions for packing. Nathaniel told Stefanie that the mother-in-law basically patronized both of them by implying that these few days with Jack had been a burden for them. He told Stefanie that his brother's mother-in-law conveyed this information to him with such flippant urgency, almost an annoyance at having to convey it to him, so that he'd felt reproached and stupid, like he should have somehow known this information, and he hadn't known how to react and therefore hadn't reacted, except to say, "Okay, that all sounds..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?